You are now tuning into Out the Box Radio Show. Entertainment at its best. Hot topics, games, and unforgettable interviews. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. You ever been to Carolina Kitchen?
Yes, I do.
They got some good cornbread.
Yes, they do. You know, when you walk in the door and they be like, welcome.
Mm-hmm. That's where you get that.
That's where I got that from, yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to just say one welcome.
Oh, look at that.
You owe me a beer. When I can drink. When I can.
Out of all the things you want a beer?
Actually, no.
That's like 5% alcohol. What she's drinking down there. The little Smirnoff.
That's the saying. Like, Jinx, you owe me a beer. You never heard that saying?
You want me a drink? But I want a shot. I don't want no.
I know you want a shot. I'm just saying. Speaking of shots and alcohol, you over there sipping your watermelon Smirnoff Ice. You good, Johnny?
Yes, and look what I got.
Lord have mercy.
It's just a little shot.
I know tomorrow is Friday. I know
She
it's
been hiding
Thursday,
stuff.
but it's real thirsty.
When you pull that out of your
Hey,
bag?
let me tell you something. It's been a week, okay? It's been a week.
It's been a week.
It's been a week.
So let me get this straight. Has it been a week?
Just one.
Or has it been a week?
It's been a week.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let me just do a little bit of love right here.
So that's all you got in that bag? Is just that little swig and then the Smirnoff drink?
Oh, but when I leave here, one of my good girlfriends, Diddy, let me just say live on the radio, happy birthday, Diddy Bob.
Hey,
Happy birthday.
we got birthday.
Happy birthday. I will see you as soon as I'm finished. I'm on my way.
And
Okay?
she getting litty. She getting litty.
not too bad. How was your week? You had a good week so far?
Yeah, I had a pretty good week. I didn't take the time to say what up to the folks. How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Out the Box Radio on Radio on Fire. We got another good one for you today, as we always do on every Thursday. But yes, I'm good, John.
You see how he transitioned? He go right from there. He didn't even take a break or a pause. He went right into it and went right back.
He's a professional.
Yes, he that's that smooth transition.
I also ate before I came here, and you know me. Like when I come to the show, I don't normally eat my dinner before.
Yeah.
I usually do it after, but since I did it before, I'm good.
Got energy.
So
nice.
you up and at him. You good.
Up and at him.
Okay.
Up and at him.
Nice.
It's a lot more fun than that situation.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Did y'all hear who they getting for the Super Bowl?
It's Maroon 5.
Yep.
Nice. I like Maroon 5. I like them even more that PJ Morton is a part of Maroon 5. I love PJ Morton.
Why you love PJ Morton so specifically?
Because he is, like, he can sing and write. And he's a PK like me.
Okay, respect. How you feeling about Maroon 5 on the Super Bowl this 2019?
That is so terrible.
As long as they sing the song with Cardi, so Cardi can come out and do her thing too. I'm good.
Okay, but Cardi,
but they have to do that song.
You know they're actually trying to get Cardi B to come out there with him, right?
I'm sure.
Nice.
They
that would
need
be
to.
so
it wasn't.
dope.
But they know how much more they'll
That
get
would
if
be
she does.
so dope.
Yes.
If Cardi comes out with Maroon 5 at the Super Bowl.
She will. They will make sure that happens.
Like the pronunciation of dope in your voice when you say that, dope.
They'll make sure that happens. You know that already. Because they could use they don't need it, but they could use the extra publicity. They could use it.
Yeah. I didn't think they was going to go for Maroon 5. I thought they was going to go for,
That's going to be a whack-ass performance.
I'm not going to say it's going to be a whack-ass performance. I'm not going to say it's...
I like Maroon 5.
That's the best band we can get.
I like Maroon 5.
I like them too. I'm just saying, like, you could have done
Yeah, I think you could have done a little bit better.
She said goodbye too many times before.
To help out.
Something to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We need a train wreck or something. That's it.
All I'm going to say is that...
She better duck the shoes. It's going to be a shoe.
Well, Nikki better stay far away if she going to catch some hands.
They ain't going.
Has Nikki been invited? I mean, has anybody ever invited her to do
Super
anything
Bowl?
Super Bowl?
I don't think they would.
Yeah,
Nah.
She be there for leisure. She wouldn't be there for work.
Of course.
Everybody's only there to work.
I don't even think she would take the job. Like, if she got offered, I don't think she would take it.
I wouldn't want her to take it.
She got paid a decent
She's a
amount, she
horrible
would.
performer.
Who, Nikki?
Yes.
Yeah.
All her performances are lackluster.
You're right. She didn't work in the
You right.
I was about to
She
say,
didn't.
Right.
I was about to say,
And-
I wanted to see Dominic K's reaction.
And
on
neither
that
did Beyonce, but
Yeah, she was good. Cardi.
one. Okay. All right.
Get clapped.
absolutely. She's a great
My
performer.
thing is like the Super Bowl is in Atlanta, so I was like, oh, so maybe they.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was
Yeah,
gonna be in Atlanta.
So I was like, oh, some they are they trying to bring out like some
Did you see what Waka Flocka said though?
Nah,
He
what'd he
said,
say?
"Why not bring an artist from Atlanta?"
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
I was like, yo, you can bring some.
They should
Atlanta-
Like
definitely
who?
do that. They should definitely do that.
Who could they respectively get that does somewhat
From
align-
Atlanta.
Yeah, from Atlanta that somewhat aligns with the NFL, and they
Fucking somebody from Atlanta. I don't know.
We're thinking like no. If you think about it,
on point with the air one again.
like, so the he, you know,
I was, but see,
he gets real crazy. But yeah, I don't know who would they get from Atlanta. Like,
my best bet would be like
Bow Wow.
Oh god.
no.
he's not from Atlanta. He's from Ohio.
He not even. He
But
not
he
even.
stayed rocking the Atlanta Braves hat though.
No,
That's
he
what I was
doesn't do
thinking,
music
Ludacris.
anymore.
But
That
he
was
has-
Would come out for that.
yeah,
no.
yeah,
I
people
wouldn't.
come out
I don't. I
for
wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to see a halftime.
T.I. No,
T.I.
I thought T.I.
could-
was not going to do
T.I.
it. It's the NFL.
No.
T.I.
Future.
No, Migos.
The NFL
No,
not gonna go for Future. NFL
YF
not gonna
and
go for
Lucci,
Migos.
no.
No.
They too good, yeah.
yeah. It's just wait. It's
Not gonna go for
nobody.
Jeezy.
Now that y'all think about it. Yeah.
No, because Cardi is she straddles the fence.
NFL might go for Usher. Maybe.
Usher's a good one.
Yeah.
Usher's a good one.
Usher is good, but he's like Mariah Carey. He's too old. Hang it up.
Dang. I mean, he not asking. He's
Well, no, I would.
Give up on your career. You had your moment. Have a seat.
No, I
Yes.
like Usher.
I did
can
too.
sing.
Back when he had it bad, but now that it's
When he
20
had it
years
bad.
Usher
later,
got hits. He could do the Super Bowl.
Usher could do it.
you just know how music
I
is
can see
nowadays.
that.
People gear towards the stupid little rappers who don't make no sense and stuff like that. That's the trap music and the good beats. I don't like them.
You want to know?
I don't support them. So you
You
right.
want to know?
I don't really like Maroon 5.
You want to know who my vote is for
I
next
don't really
year?
like them.
Okay, yeah. So that's who I wanted to talk about. Who would you want to get for the Super Bowl?
Next year or
Just
Okay,
in general,
so-
who would you want to see at the Super Bowl?
Oh, I know.
I am.
I know. Yeah, but who you gonna
Spoiler
say?
alert.
No, not
ladies
Rico
and gentlemen.
Love.
No,
Not Rico Love.
Damn.
Wow.
No.
Rico.
That's a
Not yet,
surprise.
Rico. The world has not. They don't understand just yet. Just wait.
Not yet.
But I love Coldplay.
They already had Coldplay at the Super Bowl.
I want them to go. They need to. I don't remember. Do
They had-
even
they
do
had
that?
Coldplay at
They
the
need to
Super Bowl.
come back. I love Coldplay.
Are they rock and roll? What do they
Yeah,
do?
they're
Oh,
rock.
that's why I don't know who they
They
are.
not rocking. They not rock and roll.
Are they an older group?
They
are
are
older.
very. They are still very relevant. No, they're
I
not.
don't know who they are.
My vote is for.
But what about solo?
Super Bowl
What about
50
not?
Coldplay?
Coldplay?
So what's that?
Super Bowl 50.
So what about
that was 2016.
Yeah, they need to
individual?
come
Oh, they
back.
just did it.
I love.
What about
Coldplay.
individual performers? Like no, not a group.
Not a group.
What about individual?
Outkast.
Outcast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if they brought that back,
I don't know that.
I would like to see Outkast.
no.
I would like to see that too.
Wait
They got
a
good
minute.
collection of songs.
They do.
Balls over Baghdad?
Yes.
All of that.
They can do Miss
They
Jackson.
can do a lot.
Miss
What you talking
Roses.
about?
They can do Roses. So fresh, so clean.
Let me tell you something.
They could do a lot. Caroline.
That would be a good
That-
No.
that's what I'm saying,
Caroline,
like,
all the
Atlanta.
You know what they should do? They should have a 90s throwback theme where they're bringing back 2 or 3 different bands to reunite, and each of them have their own set of performances. Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and Spice Girls. I'm there.
They had their
Knew you
chance.
was gonna say that shit.
I'm
They need
there.
to bring.
I will pay for a ticket just to go see the performance
Janet
and roll out
Jackson.
because I don't
But
watch
see, when
football.
you said 90s, we went 2 separate ways.
Let's do
What did you think for
Janet.
90s?
You said Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and Spice Girls. I was like, I was going with like Boys to Men. No, wait, not Boys to Men because they sing mostly like ballads. But I was going like, I don't know, New Edition.
Oh hell
yeah,
no.
That's a little before, yeah. But
No,
you gotta
they-
think of
they
people
way
that
too
they would
old.
bring out at the Super Bowl. They would bring these bands out.
I'm not saying I should.
Listen,
I
we
did
not
not
doing
say
well.
Well, y'all know I told y'all before Spice Girls getting back together and they're gonna be touring. So,
ticket.
I'm absolutely getting a ticket. Yes, I am. I'm gonna be front row to that thing.
Alright.
About to see everybody up in there.
This is a sidebar. I keep looking at our guest because he looks like somebody.
Who he look
Who he look like?
Who he look like?
He looks like, I forget his name, but he played in Underground.
Ladies and gentlemen, we was gonna wait, but brother Calvin John. Wow, why did I say Calvin? I'm thinking of the football player. Time out, flag on the play.
Who is that?
Can we pause and go back? Can y'all roll the footage back?
I was going.
Because he done said the guest name incorrectly.
Brother Calvin D. Tucker Jr. is in the building.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. God, he looks like, I think his name is
Yes.
Wait, what is his name?
Apparently you're multiple people today. So.
Calvin, why don't you come on to the desk, man? Why don't you just come over? Let's go ahead and get it started. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing
hey,
today.
DJ Diamond K, while we introduce Brother Calvin, why don't you go ahead and show the ladies and gentlemen his acting reel so they can take a look at the goodness that he brings to the screen.
The good footage.
The good footage.
The good footage.
What we doing, babe?
Do you like my nose? I mean, I just always wanted to do something different to it, you know? It just looks weird a little.
I love everything about you. Thought I showed you that last night.
Stop!
Oh. What, you for real?
I'm dead serious.
Come on, babe. I love everything about you. Your lips. Your neck. Your hips. Everything, babe. I mean, why do you think I get so crazy all the time with dudes looking at you? Your boss giving you trouble on the job. Come on now, you're my everything. Baby, I wouldn't be anything without you. I'm saying, you hung in there with me. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
There's no other chick out here. But you don't gotta change nothing.
You really mean that?
Of course I mean that.
Thank you.
I try to show you every day. I do gotta step my game up though. I do. I do.
A little bit.
Yes, this is Sterling Davis in conjunction with Phil Moore Enterprises on behalf of first round draft pick Geronte Morrison. That's correct. Did you get the proposal? You are making the biggest mistake of your career. And I assure you, by the time you realize it, my number will have changed. Thank you. Oh, wait. I know why you're here. You want to know how I maintain my fresh and smooth skin. You want high performance, quality, invigorating clean? Then you want Power Stick 301 for men. Available in stores everywhere.
What is love?
Kirk Franklin. The Kirk Franklin.
A little bit of the curve.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was the acting reel of Brother Calvin D. Tucker Jr. And he is right here.
He's right
here.
In
here.
his flat chain, looking like Chris Tucker and Aldous Hodge at the same damn time.
I say more
We
so.
was on it, yo.
I say more so Aldous.
Aldous Hodge. I say more so Aldous Hodge. How you doing, Brother Calvin?
I'm good. I'm
Good.
great. I'm gravy.
Good, great. Good. I do appreciate the Marvel hat, though. Like, I really appreciate it.
I like that.
Exactly. But
Got to do homage.
I see Falcon, I see Spider-Man, I see Iron Man, see the whole team. Some of them might die in part 2. Spoiler alert.
I haven't seen
And come
the
back in
first
part
one.
19.
Yeah, exactly. Still haven't seen it? Better get on it. You better get on it.
I am when I have time.
All right. And then on air, let me apologize for calling you Calvin Johnson. I apologize. I'm telling you, like, I'm serious. Like,
You know who he is?
Put some respect on my name.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know who he is. This is brother Calvin. And then DJ Diamond K again on time. So let me ask you a question that's was not prepared at all. Are you related to Chris Tucker?
I don't know. We think so. Some of us in my family. His family, or his mother's side of the family, comes from similar parts of Georgia as my father's side of the family. And we got the same eyes, act alike a little bit. So I don't know. I am the president of our family reunion, McMullen 2019 in Baltimore.
Oh, nice.
So, Chris Tucker, holla at your family.
Plug.
Nice.
He ain't been to a reunion yet, but holla at your family.
Come on to Charm City.
Come on through.
Right,
thank y'all for having me too. I appreciate
no,
it.
Definitely.
It is a pleasure. Anytime we
It's an awesome setup too.
Oh yeah, we love it.
This is the
We
truth.
like the studio, man. We like the studio. Clean, good equipment.
You be coming to
We have
people's
good time.
bathrooms, they be like, the microphone by the toilet. We on the come up.
You can hear them
God is
flushing
gonna bless us. He gonna bless.
You can hear them flushing every time during the interview.
I go to a commercial when they flush.
That's
Play a YouTube video.
You think it's in sound studio, but nope, that's not in studio sound. That's real live.
That's real life
Y'all
flush.
got candy in here. Look at the
That's a
Starburst.
real royal flush.
Are you pulling Starburst out your shirt?
This
pocket?
y'all candy that y'all bless you. They got candy for a brother. So I don't forget www.calvinthespecialist.com.
You know what? I was just about to come to you.
I know you're probably getting there. I can't help it.
No, I was getting there because
He ain't got
My degrees in
He ain't got
broadcasting.
none of the
I can't
good
help it.
flavors. He got yellow and orange.
first of all,
Where's
I got
where's
a
the
whole
red and
pocket
pink?
full of the red and the pink.
Okay, I was about to say
Can I have the
because you
pink
can't
one?
come with a yellow and orange up in here.
yeah. So
I would like
No,
the
my,
pink
my
one.
pocket out there. My
Citrus
pocket.
flavors.
Yeah, we're gonna need a couple of them pink and red Starburst. just a couple. But anyway, yeah, so when I first got in contact with you, I noticed that you were going by Calvin the Specialist, especially on your website, which is www.calvinthespecialist.com. So
Yes, sir.
why do you call yourself an entertainment specialist?
That's a great question. So, my life story. Growing up, I grew up in a performing arts family, music, entertainment, and we were allowed as young people to express whatever we wanted to do. So if we wanted to play an instrument, martial arts, we tried all of that. But my mother was like, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. So that's where the passion came from. So fast forward to training in the entertainment industry through different internships. My degree again is in broadcast production. So my passion was radio, then it switched to television. And so entertainment specialist encompasses every single thing that I do. And, coming up, I would introduce myself and I would list a million things like, how you doing? I'm Calvin. I'm a model. I'm an actor. I'm a designer. I sing. I rap. I do and people were like, their heads spin. And I couldn't grasp on my end that it's confusing to people or it's overwhelming. So I'm like, to me, I do this and it flows, but to them it seems like I'm all over the place. So I had a friend from high school call me up like, look, it seems like you're not dedicated to anything when you come out with all these things. So I was like, okay. What it is, it falls under entertainment specialist. And basically the bottom line is everything you need in entertainment, I can provide basically. So when you go to the website, it's laid out so that you understand. Entertainment specialist is what I introduce myself as, or just actor model. And then when you go to the site, you can see on the third page, everything else. It's like literally everything else is on the last page. So.
And they can book you on it too.
They can book
They
me
can
through
book
the
you on it. I
page.
saw that.
I mean,
Book
through the
now.
website.
Book now, yes.
www.calvinthespecialist.com. On the .com.
So you would say your base is actor model. That's like your main.
My first passion was music and kind of still is.
You sing?
And I love all of it, to be honest. People always ask me, which one are you more passionate about? Man, I just believe that God created me like that. Like everything that I'm passionate about, I believe he's going to use to bring people to him.
Amen.
And so acting, I would say acting, singing, acting, and modeling are at the top, because I'm a preacher as well. But that's not a career path. That's a ministry. So, but I use some of that in preaching as well. So it's like I can't pick because it's all part of me. So I can't pick my hand and throw that over there.
Oh, I have a random question. Okay, so since you're in the ministry, right? But you also do acting. So obviously you can't choose the roles that you usually get. You go with what they give you. Are you comfortable being out the box, quote unquote, if you're religious, but you're having a role that's completely opposite? Let's say.
Yeah, I'm starting with the good questions. Look at that.
I just need to know because
this is I love talking about this subject. So because of my calling and my conviction, like you said that you can't pick, and I technically disagree, and that's probably why people think I'm gonna have a hard time. But I believe that you can live a standard, and I've seen the fruits of that decision. Because a lot of people in the industry are willing to do whatever with whoever, whatever somebody say they're willing to do, throw their life away to get what they call success.
Right.
And because I have a foundation and a spiritual outlook on it, God is in control of everything I get and everything I become. So there is no man that can give or take an opportunity that wasn't in my destiny.
He preaching
God
in here.
chooses to use who he wants to be the vessel for that blessing, yes. But as long as I'm not being a jerk, or I'm not, trying to pull from people to get somewhere, then I believe that, what's for me is for me.
That's right.
So if I'm being a good steward over my career and I'm taking care of what I'm supposed to, showing up on time and delivering what I say I can do, doing the work I'm booked to do, then I believe that that's when, God is watching over me. But when I'm, going left and treating people wrong, that's when you're just doing too much. But to answer your question, I turn down roles all the time that go against what I believe, and that's not a bad thing, because I'm not against people doing nude modeling or underwear modeling, stuff like that. And there's a difference. For me, in the modeling, I don't do shirtless underwear or sexually suggestive posing in modeling, but I would do shirtless, like you saw in my acting reel for a role on television or theater. And people are like, what's the difference? Well, the difference is I'm playing a character and there's a real life situation. Like, if my house is being broken into at 3 a.m, I'm probably jumping up out of the bed with like pajama pants or underwear on and a baseball bat and a gun or something like that. You get what I'm saying? So it's realistic. And modeling, you're just looking at pictures, just bodies, And again, I'm not against anybody. It's artistic modeling. They call it all types of stuff. You do what you do. So I'm not on a campaign against it. I just know what I'm called to do. And, and that's what it is. So you can choose. I'm sorry, I still didn't answer. You can choose, but you choose it respectfully. You don't come in the door like, "But I'm bigger than that." Do you just say respectfully? I don't think that I'm not comfortable with that, or that's not a good role for my career. And people will understand. People don't think they will.
There are two major actors that are like real saved. I'm talking
real
like
saved.
real saved. And that is Denzel Washington and Angela Bassett. Like Angela Bassett is real. Like I'm talking like she gets so filled up. She Pentecostal and she will roll in that floor and speak in tongues and all types of stuff. But
she's out here getting her work,
and she's working. And she's doing
many different characters and interpretations.
Absolutely,
and still faithful.
And still very faithful. And Denzel Washington, who is he's like my father in my head. He's the same way. Like he's one of the greatest.
Yeah, I've had to turn down roles for profanity too. That's something else I don't do. Now my character can be cussed at and cussed out because on a daily that's realistic for me. And because I was in the school system for a while, not now, but when I was in the school system, think about it, in the city, the county, the kids. You can be the nicest teacher. I was getting cussed out every day, threatened, all that type of stuff. You deal with emotions of young people, but so that's real life. So I'm like, I'm not in the clouds somewhere with my spirituality or my relationship with God. But I have a responsibility to maintain some type of standard as to what I really believe. I don't feel like I can't do those things. I don't want to do those things.
Right.
So that's the difference. People like, you put yourself in a box. You blocking this and blocking that. I don't have power over any of that. But yeah, most people don't look at it from a spiritual aspect. They look at it from, if I do this, if I meet this person, then that gets me this opportunity. And that's it. That's all they look at it. People as opportunity instead of human beings. So, yeah.
I really like how you use your faith and your religion as a building block and a stepping stone, for your entertainment career. Because some people might look at that and say, "Oh, you're only just good for certain roles." But in your case, and I can see that from your body of work, that you just use that as saying, "No, I'm doing a purpose. I'm doing a calling."
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. So when did you start acting?
Since I was a little boy, but professionally in 2010. That's when I graduated from college, and I said, okay, you do all these things, but now, it's real life now because I'm done school. So I'm like, which one of these are you gonna focus on, or what area are you gonna go into to really, take your life to the next level and live? So I said, I'm gonna give it a shot. So I said, okay, now which one? Oh, that's another part of the story. But yeah, so I started planning things out and started categorizing, blocking stuff off, planning and moving. Yeah. So they must be saying some funny stuff on your life.
They are.
She been dying laughing the whole show.
She's also sipping some Smirnoff Ice.
Right. She is.
Right. I mean, that might have a little bit of
motivation juice. Just a little bit.
I was a lot of I'm sitting here laughing because I said I'm a PK, right? No, I'm a PK. But
hallelujah.
I have my mouth is terrible sometimes. And I drink. Okay. But no, it was so funny. No, but it was funny to me because when I was talking about PJ Morton, and I was like, he's a PK like me. I just happened to look over like, well, damn, Jonah, you sitting up here drinking this. PK like me. My daddy prays for me daily. So does my mother. My mother was watching one day and was like, so you just gonna open that bottle of, no, it was the day I had that honey. That honey jack. She was like, just gonna open it. I was like, Mom, I'm just being.
We was all shipping it.
No, not all of us.
Oh no.
He said, I ain't
had water.
Let me hold it in. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say because he's watching me today. So I'm not gonna say but there's a reason why you didn't drink that, okay?
He's watching you every.
Allegedly, he always has water in it.
That's a sign right there. See, that's a sign. That's a sign. That's a sign right there.
I mean, it was clear. A lot of things are clear.
I'm playing.
So I do have another question.
Okay.
So what was your first acting job?
Woo.
Yeah, I want to.
Let's see. Let's go with the first one I was paid for. How about that?
Yeah.
Because I guess that kind of links to my first professional gig, technically. I don't know if I can remember. Well, not paid, but because I did some professional stuff, and I still do. I do like 1 or 2 pro bono things a year. Okay. No, that's not it.
Well,
I'm just gonna throw out some of the first ones.
What was your favorite role that you've ever played?
Well, some of the first ones for television, because I just switched over to really grinding in television and film in the last 2 years. Everything was theater at first, so I got tons of theater experience. Right. So my first leading role was in Dreamgirls. Hey. With Art Centric. Shout out to Art Centric. Hey. The Art Centric family. Yes. That was my first show with them and my first introduction to how a Broadway style major production. We did 36 shows.
Oh wow.
And I played Marty. I played Jimmy Early's manager. Yeah. So that was my first principal role in a professional theater situation. In a television and film, I haven't had a lead role yet. My first lead role I'm actually filming right now is a movie called The PKs, Preacher's Kids. Oh wow! So that's filming in DC, and we're about to wrap.
Why didn't I hear about this? I could have went and auditioned.
Everybody says that I know when they say that.
Because I live it.
Shout out to Monique Linnell, the cast of PKs. Should be, we're wrapping that up. Got a couple scenes left. But that's set up kind of like The Best Man. Like it's a group of us as kids. And then they show us as kid actors. Then we meet again later on in life as adults. And so we come back together in this life with us again. So it's really cool. So it's it's her story. Monique Linnell is her life story. She's a PK too. She's a PK. Oh wow. So, I'm sorry.
She grew up in the church.
Me
too.
In the military, she traveled and stuff. Yeah.
So you said it's Monique and Linnell.
No, that's her name, Monique Linnell.
Oh, Monique Linnell. I'm sorry. When
Monique Linnell
and Linnell. I'm thinking like,
No, I mumble. I'm like the Migos.
Today, I'm like the Migos. Names is not his thing today. Okay.
I'm like the Migos. I mumble a little bit, so it might have sounded like I said Monique and Linnell.
Names is just not his thing today.
Have Calvin Johnson.
Clearly.
Obviously, AKA
Monique Linnell.
AKA
Momo.
Well, I'm excited to see that because the movie that LaToya Luckett was in as a preacher's daughter.
Oh yeah,
preacher's daughter.
Yeah.
It's so unrealistic to me. It is like when you're really a PK, it's
you just know.
You know, a lot of commercial stuff. It's very rare that we see commercial stuff that's extremely accurate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched the Greenleaf a lot of times, and I'd be down. Like,
yes, I love.
I'm like, a lot of this stuff goes down. Like people don't know, and I feel like also a part of the extension of my calling is to use my social media as kind of like a diary, as my own reality show. So that's why I post a lot of stuff of what I'm going through at auditions, situations. I talk about scandals I've dealt with, about overcoming, you know, insecurities I've had as a performer. I talk about audition anxiety, all types of different things that some people be like, you talk about, you're not embarrassed? I'm like, no. Like these testimonies, you'll be surprised how many people hit you up like, you know, I'm going through this right now.
Absolutely.
And you just posted about it. Or, you know, thank you for posting, you know, it helped me such and such and such. And we keep so much in and we don't talk about our lives. We feel like we got to present ourselves as perfect. And that's not the case.
It's not the case.
Like as long as I know there's some stuff that is really dark that I don't talk about yet, but there may be a point where I do a book or a movie or a TV series about the darkest of the dark. But that's just what I feel my calling is, and it's proven to be true. Say it again.
I said it also shows that you're human.
Yeah.
Yes, we're not perfect. Believers are not perfect.
Everybody want to be, you know. Oh, I don't say this. I don't post, but I don't post the. And there's a way you post it as well, because you know a lot of people do the same thing I do. They just ratchet with it. They just posting the most disgusting stuff.
Right.
But you know, I'm posting the authenticity of what I'm going through. I guess that's the difference. You know, so I'm not like you should do this
with no context.
Right. Yeah.
It's just. You know.
So let's actually talk about auditions, right? This is a two-parter. I want to ask two things. You just said it, and I want to hone down right on it. Okay. All right, audition anxiety. A lot of people who are not in the entertainment industry don't realize exactly what that feels like or what that means. We all do at this table,
yes.
But I want for those who don't know, the viewers, explain what it is, obviously, but also talk about when that does happen to you, like what's going through your mind.
Audition anxiety, I think it takes a different look and feel for different people. So for me, you could say, all right, Calvin, we booking you to perform in front of 33 million people live. 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes to prepare. Go. I'm good.
Right.
Give me the mic. I'm rocking, right? But tell me, you know, all right, we just need you to do this audition, you know, in front of, you know, Steven Spielberg and Beyonce, whatever. It's 2 people in the room, and I got to go sing in front of them to audition. For me, that was a struggle a long time. I'm over that now, but it was a struggle because I was a real serious, super Christian at the time. And so when I sung, and I called myself a gospel artist back then, so everything was Jesus. So I'm like, this is my ministry. Why am I trying to impress people? That's not what I do. That's what the difference between saying I was booked. That means I'm there presenting the ministry, but to have to audition in front of you means I have to impress you. You get what I'm saying? So it was a mental thing. So for me, that was a struggle when I went into auditions, because I'm like, I'm you know, back and forth between let me impress them because it's an audition. Like, no, that's not why. That's not what I do. So that's over though. Now I just like everything is ministry. Even if I got an audition, just pretend that you know you're going in for them too. You don't know what they need as judges. So in acting is different. Television and film is a certain type of energy, and theater auditions is a certain type of energy. And theater is a monster because professional theater, because I can't read. I can't sight read.
Right.
In high school, I could a little bit, but you know, I'm 34 now. High school's over. So some roles you can get, especially in community theater, that have musically involved without having to use sheet music.
Right.
And then even on a professional level, but the ones that really get it and ones that really excel, the ones that can just take sheet music and run with it.
Right.
So that's a struggle for me, and there's an insecurity. So with working with Art Centric has really helped me build and climb out of that that frustration. So 2 weeks ago, I just auditioned in New York for 2 separate theater companies. And then I came back home and auditioned for Toby's Dinner Theater the same week.
Oh, wow.
And then, check this out, on Sunday.
For the season, right? For the upcoming season.
Yeah, for the 2 in New York, the upcoming season, and Toby's, the upcoming seasons, all of those are next year. And then that Sunday, my friend hit me up with tickets to Hamilton on that Sunday. So it was a whole Broadway musical theater week for me.
Right.
That 1 week. So anyway, that week, 2 weeks ago, was when I realized and was like, okay, this is going to tell me if I've gotten over that insecurity and that I called it a traumatic experience for me, because I would be like so shook on the inside because I can't read sheet music. So I would have to rehearse with YouTube before and pull links. It was a whole production going on for me to get ready for audition.
Right, to get ready for the audition.
So now I've narrowed down to having a good 2 or 3 musical selections that have sheet music, but that I memorize because you have to give that to the pianist when you go into audition. So I want 3 of those. I have 1 now, so I need 2 more that I know I'm good with. That I can just hand in and be ready, and I'm good. So I wasn't nervous in any of those 3 auditions.
Well, that's good.
Not the wrong way, not the way that's gonna mess you up. Like
exactly.
I was good.
Right.
And I said, okay, so I finally graduated.
Good.
Now theater and television, I'm not really nervous because I don't know. Theater is a little different because you're singing and you're acting. It's kind of a lighter type of acting. Television and yeah, because if you know stage plays, they can be deep too. Yeah. But television and film, you got to really dig into your acting chops. Now, again, I didn't mention for those that don't know, if you're auditioning for professional musical theater, most of the times you will never audition a monologue. You'll never act in an audition. Right. Yeah. All you do, introduce yourself, you sing, and you leave. Like you don't. That's it. That's all you do.
Wow.
It's really that quick.
Sometimes there's a dance call afterwards or the day.
Right. They might do.
After.
Yeah. They'll. See how you move. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, what you shaking?
Yeah, no. I mean, I can sing, but I don't sing.
I heard your voice. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you. But my brother is the singer. But I don't. I'm no.
And it's crazy like that. I messed up my line.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I didn't. Okay. No, so I have 2 sisters, one younger and one older, and so both of their voices are magical, but they're not called to the entertainment industry like I am. Mm-hmm. But I've drugged them along the way. Like they've been my backbone. They've been my background singers, background dancers. They've been my models for my clothing line. When I was making clothes, I put them through the ringer. So they always had my back. Shout out to my family. But if I had it my way, like I would manage them. They are amazing. And if you listen to my single "Patiently Waiting" from my EP that came out in 2012, that music video, the 2 young ladies that are acting in the video are the ones that are actually singing on that song. And you can hear the bands. Wow. That EP is on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere you can find your digital music. It's called "Can I Get an Intro" by Brother Calvin. It's also on the last page of my website at www.calvinthespecialist.com.
You ready for it? Look, he came to play no games.
I had 2 questions that came up. Did your sisters have to help you with your singing or your sight reading or singing?
Oh no. Well, my little sister, she's very versed. She's the most musical in terms of technically musical, meaning sheet music, all that stuff, out of all of us. So I did at couple of times I've had her drill me on some stuff, but not a lot. No, I'm like the Diddy, the psycho of entertainment. So they just pretty much back me, and they have their own ventures and careers now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then my other question was, you talk about doing both theater and television and film, and I know that there's differences between the 2. But bless you, by the way. But,
Thank you.
What do you think? Or actually, no, that's the wrong way how I want to phrase it.
Let him use you.
Which one? Come on, somebody. Which one would you prefer doing, or which one do you feel more comfortable doing?
I don't like answering that question. Well, I can't choose because it's so many. Okay, just based off of passion. Let me just answer just because of the question. I can't choose, but I'm just gonna give you an answer off of the passion of it. Off of the passion of it is theater, because I feel the most alive and the most fulfilled when I'm performing live. Whether it's just singing as a recording artist, or whether it's musical theater, which encompasses both acting and dance and vocals. So if it could be Broadway, that's everything. That's touring, that's traveling too, traveling the world. That's on stage live. I love live. I don't like singing with tracks, although I've never had a band in my life, so I've had to rely on tracks. But there's nothing like singing with a live band. So
that's true.
Yeah. So
I really wish you would sing something for us. I want to hear what you sound like. Hold up now. Wait a minute. You and Joe Nathan sing something together. Y'all from the church?
Of course.
You're asking everybody else to sing on the show.
Right, I always ask people to do something, and you know what I'm saying, like what it is that they do, and they don't never want to do it.
I'm used to it.
They never want to do it.
They don't never want to do it.
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
You asked me to act about, hey, act. You an actress, act.
No, we didn't ask you to act. It was Blazing Radio.
I know. I'm not.
I think she's saying in general.
You better get them in
trouble.
Act something for me. And as you know, you sing something for me, something like that.
I think it's much easier for you to like sing something on the spot rather than act something.
Well, yeah, because acting, your mind's going.
Well, it depends. It depends on the day. Like I'm not warmed up, but I still
give me
sing.
a scenario and I got it.
If you get a scenario, but what if they don't give you? What if it's someone?
I'll make a scenario.
What if it's someone who doesn't
improv? I love
acting?
improv.
Me too. I love improv. It's so much fun.
Right now, it's on the up and up.
Especially
in Chicago too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you know what I need to ask you.
Tank, why don't you sing?
Wait a minute.
Hold up.
Did she call her?
Wait, that's the second time that happened to me today.
Did she say sing Tank?
No,
Tank.
That's Tank.
People think that I look like Tank.
Oh, I think I saw that. Did you post that picture on your social media?
Yeah, because I forgot what show it was here, and like he was talking about celebrity lookalikes, and they all brought up Tank, and I was like, every day of my life.
You got Flacco, you got Tank, and you got what's her name from Love and Hip Hop? You got a whole celebrity crew over here. John McPhee.
Oh, John
Peace. So we got a whole celebrity crew over here. The whole.
You don't have no pink. You don't have no pink wig in the closet.
No, I don't. I don't think I look like her.
You think that's bad? She's
no,
beautiful.
I think she's gorgeous, but I don't think we look
trip.
anything alike.
It's not. I think you. When people say you would look like someone, it's not always they saying like you are exactly like you don't look exactly like it.
Features.
But when they say Jessica Dime, it's like yeah,
you have features.
he looks closer to Tank than you do to Jessica.
That's what I'm saying.
You have her eyes, mostly the eyes.
She has
It's not a bad. I mean,
It's not a bad thing at all. Like when ladies, especially when ladies say I look like Tank, I'm like
exactly.
But let me tell you something. Everyone at my job say y'all were lying. They say I don't look nothing like Flacco. And I said I agree.
Maybe in the face. Maybe in the face. Look at it.
You like this?
I don't even know how to hold a football. I don't even know how to hold a football. Y'all would make fun of me.
I fall on the ground when nobody touches me.
Let me tell you what.
Now you can do that because you a fan. If you wasn't a fan, you couldn't do it, but you can.
That I do look like him.
No, that you think you don't. It's because of the beard. But if you were to shave your beard,
I look like a pedophile.
It was over.
It's a wrap.
Game over.
It's a wrap. My next photo shoot. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna wear a helmet. I'm gonna have a whole outfit.
On the next one.
On the helmet, I look confused.
Just for you, I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna see how I look.
Don't do
I want to
do
compare
that
and
to our
contrast.
water.
Like a stunt though. They're like,
I-
bring in Justin. Bring this wall real quick.
My little body, please. I bruise like a peach. You ain't gonna have me, and I look like a damn. Excuse me, I look like a peach. But I'm just saying, I'm not running through no damn walls.
I know this. Do y'all?
That's
Do
actually.
y'all?
excuse me, like just
Right.
No,
Don't.
hold on. No. Hold on. That was the first cuss word, and I didn't say nothing nasty all show. And you
You
know what? You know what? No. Calvin said I did not know. I did not know the religious side of Calvin until he just told us on the show.
It's
So
fine.
I had a feeling before
fine.
I came here today. I'm telling you, things happen for a reason.
Oh, okay.
I had a feeling
I think we got a
to
testimony.
be
So wait, but
to
hold on,
not
hold on.
go outside my normal.
Now you know I love the Lord, but you just be like,
Yeah, see, she don't count because it's not holy water she drinking.
You know I love the Lord.
If you was drinking holy water, I would respect you a little bit more. But you ain't got no holy water.
Well,
in
see,
there.
here's the thing I tell people. I'm not God. So I don't come in the room to literally change you by me directing you. The presence of God is what does the changing.
Right.
So I would have issues like that on the job. Like people be like, oh, here come Calvin. Don't cuss around him. Like, don't cuss around me, but don't cuss me out.
Right.
That's the
Difference.
that's
Right.
the difference. You cuss me out now. You and I have an issue, but when I come in the room, I don't control anybody. I don't have any kids.
Right.
You're not my kids. So people do that whole thing. Like if you feel like you need to apologize for cussing around me, then maybe you shouldn't be cussing. Because anything like you don't even know me like that.
the Lord is still working on me because I have a horrible temper, and I will cuss you out, and only if I feel disrespected, and I fight.
Which is true.
And also just
I'm a fighter
Which
too.
is true.
I haven't fought since I was 13. Praise God.
Jeez,
But you want to know?
That don't mean I ain't
something?
come close.
You want to know something in my Cardi B voice? My brother is extremely spiritual, and he's been having these dreams, right? And so he always talks to me about it. And so when he was talking to me about it, I heard something say that my temper, like how I fight. Like I fight. It's not supposed to be.
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it. We're gonna see. We're gonna see in February 2019.
No, like
because me and Jordan ain't gonna have each other's back. Mind you, because I fight too, and when it comes to being in an enclosed area like a cruise ship,
you're not gonna fight.
Me and
I'm
Jordan,
not
Lord, who fought on the cruise?
I broke plates and went to the cruise
See,
jail.
I'm not having that.
You did?
You're not about to ruin my
why
vacation.
Why are you going to cruise to
I'm
fight?
not
Wait,
vacation creation.
Time out. Wait. Why is that a thought? Wait, you going to
cruise to fight?
I know. I'm just
not to fight purposely, but it happened. You got young people who act stupid and want to start stuff. I'm gonna finish it.
Wow.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to be fighting on no cruise. You're supposed to be having
the
the time of your life.
Exactly. It ended very quickly, and then
put one of them kids in the headlock, throw them in the pool, and then y'all have some drinks together or something like that. Eat a cheeseburger together.
I just told JoJo make sure she has my back, and I got hers because we go on our trip in February.
I don't ever fight on vacation ever. Don't.
She said I have a rule.
No,
I do not fight on vacation. Any other time.
So let me just clear this up.
You can get it in church, the mall, at school.
Not on vacation though.
You can get not on vacation.
Let me clear this up. I'm very protective of the people that I love.
So what if someone was
and I'm very protective of me, and I don't deal well with disrespect. Mm-hmm. And I do have the ability to communicate. So I will tell you how it is that I feel.
She'll say, stop it.
Give you your warning. Your good warning out the way.
I will give you a warning. But if I feel like it continues, then at that moment, I do feel like some people don't learn until you put your hands on them.
Let's do an improv moment real quick. She like improv. Go ahead. We're going to do improv when you're done because you love improv.
But it's been a long time since I've had that situation because I do have a whole lot
Well, now
lose.
is the moment. So come on, Jonay. Let's see how you do trying to settle a situation down and communicate.
But I was making a point.
Now she on
oh, Lord.
Is that
all right?
I think we all. Yeah, I think Calvin, brother Calvin, needs to put you on the spot. He asked me. Are you asking me on the spot?
You can do whatever. I stay ready.
How would you handle a situation if someone was disrespecting you? How would you communicate and try to calm them down first before going to the next level? What would you say to them? Act like I'm that person, and I say you're a.
What you mean you ain't gonna give me your number? You ain't all that anyway.
Oh,
you right. Have a nice day.
That's not it. That's not it.
That ain't how she do it.
That's not it. That's not it.
You know that ain't how you do it.
I'm not about to go back and forth with you now.
See, because we got a table, we can't really act it out because we got a table right here. So I might hit the mic. I can't really get into it.
She said, "You right,
right."
And that's exactly.
That's how I'm real sarcastic.
I'm like, you right. Have a nice day.
I make people mad with my and that makes people mad when you do that. Because what they want is F you then. You be like, oh, that's how you feel? Okay, have a good day. They be like,
F me. I know you want to, but unfortunately you can't.
She took it to a whole different level.
No, I mean,
they said F you.
Yeah.
Right. I'm saying from that she said, you know you want to, so she's taking it to the whole different level.
Right.
What's wrong with Tango? No. He's like, bro, you ain't getting it, bro. Bro, you ain't getting it.
Wait, you haven't caught it? You didn't catch it?
No, I think he was looking at him like he was like.
Because I heard something, I was just stuck on it for a while. I was like, wait a minute, hold up, rewind.
Did I say something wrong?
No, it wasn't you.
I'm just making sure.
All right, let's talk about acting.
Yeah, let's talk about acting. I don't know what happened, but let's get back into the zone.
So I would like to know this. If there was anything that you can change in the industry, what is it that you would change?
A lot. On a bigger scale, I would change the diversity, the lack of diversity that is on the production side of the industry. And I've been on a lot of sets, and people do come from all over the world, though.
That's right.
When you're at the highest, my first experience was what I just filmed 2 months ago, which I can't talk about. That movie's coming out next year, but that was my first experience on the top level, like the best of the best. This is how it is, and they had production people with all kinds of accents. It was beautiful, but still, even further than that. I would like to see, of course, more of our people in production and Latinos and Asians in production. And I say that because production on the highest level in the writer's room and director's room that's where they're able to advocate for us, the talent. You know what I'm saying? And so people always want to be like, I want to see more actors, but they don't really. The issue is people that are picking talent may not have an eye for getting past their prejudices and just seeing talent.
Yes. We need more plus size women in production to shift the idea of beauty.
Right.
Because you always, and that's what I run it. That when you were talking about, I think it was you that brought up anxiety. For me, that's always my anxiety. You go into an audition room and it's very black and white. The description, well, not really. They get specific. We want this, that, and the third. And I don't necessarily meet that all the time, but I'll still go just to go. Yeah, and that's how people go. Right, and that makes me nervous and self-conscious. And then you look around, you see all of these beautiful women who fit the description, but it's not you. And so you have to make sure that you bring something outside. Like, you got to be extra better.
It's interesting you talked about that, because earlier this year I taught a class at a girls' conference called The Princess Within, and so my age range was, I believe it was 6 to 14, and so my topic was I used Beyonce, of course, because her video "Pretty Hurts" is an incredible example of what not only women face, but what males face as well in entertainment, as it pertains to what is considered beauty, what it takes to look like or appear like what is commercially presented to us that's not real, And so I think my topic was "Pretty Hurts, but Beauty is Forever," or something like that. And so I dealt with identity. I dealt with what is real beauty, the inside beauty. I dealt with attitude. I dealt with professionalism, and from a modeling perspective as well. And so it's interesting that you talk about that. We can stay there for a while on what beauty is, and it's important for girls to know that and to see the behind the scenes of it, and not get so caught up. And I really applaud people like Alicia Keys for, taking a stand and saying, like she's doing this whole no makeup thing. I think that's really important, because I was watching somebody's it's these girls that have a live video podcast or whatever. Okay, I'll say who it was. It's Bambi and Rashida, Nicki Minaj clique. So they have their TV show or whatever. So they were talking about how people would be surprised. Yeah, I mean, I'm using them for a point. I'm going somewhere with it. Amen. So they were saying that people would be surprised how people think that them and Nicki are fake friends, but they're real friends. And they'd be like, you'd be surprised how we just, we chill, we hang out with no makeup. And like, they were making this big thing about like how they hang around each other with no makeup, as if not wearing makeup is something special. Like, you only not wear makeup on a special occasion or something. Like,
but you go to bed wearing a face full of
some people makeup? Some of them do. I watch TV shows and they'd be like, yeah, I ain't taking this off.
Okay, wake up with some pimples on your face then go ahead.
A lot of them probably didn't go to sleep with a man next to them, but that's another topic.
Right.
Breakouts.
Just saying. Breakouts.
Yes, it's hard.
Let's actually talk about, because you mentioned, it's funny because every time I have a question of mine, you say the words. You might not remember you just said this, but you transition right into it. What is going on today? All right, let's He's
in the room, people. He's in the room.
His presence.
Can I get a witness?
Gospel songs, but
my
Lord.
Let him use it.
Behind the scenes, let's talk about it.
You said, behind the scenes.
Show, I don't know if you may not have seen the show before, but our show heavily focuses on what happens behind the scenes, especially with artists, reality stars, musicians, you name it. Because people don't get a chance to see that, right? And if you don't say it, people won't really know.
Right.
So when it comes to those moments of behind the scenes in any area of your career, what is like the most memorable that you would say? If you could pick one.
It's too many. Let me try. I'm trying to. It's like, you ever see the X-Men movie when they went back, because it was like Future Past or something. And he went back grabbing mutants and stuff. Right. I just see a bunch of memories. I'm trying to grab one. What I love most about being behind the scenes is watching how elevation works. Because, let me say this the right way. Before you experience the the full manifestation of your dream or what it is to arrive or whatever on the come up level where I still am, but I still am. You have an image or an idea of what you think the process is to elevate in your career, right? So you think, okay, if I'm on there and I do the best job or whatever, and I can get noticed by the director and they'll ask me to do something more, or I get a role, and that can work that way too. But I just like the authenticity of the natural evolution of elevation on set. For what I mean is, when I was on that major movie that I can't talk about, it is a superhero movie, I'll say that. And
we're on the same movie. Is it done? Is it
we
wrapped
can,
up?
we can talk offline.
Is it wrapped up now? Because
it is wrapped. It was we did 4 weeks and then it was 2 months ago. Okay, so that is an off air.
Yeah.
So
no trouble.
It was beautiful to see who gets noticed and how and by who. Because when you're on set on the major level, you don't know who is who.
Right.
And what I didn't know was there are multiple directors. There's of course the director, right? Right. And then there are like different groups that are spread out on set that are in charge of different parts of the machine.
Right.
This group of 10 extras, this group of 100 extras. You got a director for each one. Everybody's walking around with headsets on and stuff like that. You don't know who's just a PA or who's a director.
Exactly.
You don't know. And they're noticing, they're watching, they're seeing little stuff like how your attitude is when, the lunch break is like 5 minutes late, or, they told you stand here and you saw yourself on the monitor on camera, so you think you're in the movie, and then they move you and now you over here in the back and you think, oh, I'm not gonna be on TV. So it's like your maturity levels being viewed as well.
Right.
And then you see the elevation of how that works. And it has nothing to do with respect of persons. Sometimes it does, because but on the larger level, it's about your integrity and how you represent yourself at all times. Because it's like, I don't know if are you familiar with modeling? Any of y'all model?
A long time
5 years
ago.
Well, you might remember, like, this is a basic principle. Like, when you backstage and about to go on the runway, like, you walk as if you're on the runway until you get on it. And then when you come off, you still, when you're, like, right there off of the runway, you still walk as if you're on it.
Yep.
So that, there's no disparity in between in the view and the continuity.
Right.
It's the same thing. I'm sorry, I didn't finish that thought. It's the same thing in behind the scenes and being professional. Like, you don't turn it off. Like, you shouldn't turn it off. I'd say, in my opinion, integrity is something you don't turn off. You either have it or you don't. And we all fall short, but still, you can still see someone's integrity in their mistakes.
Right.
Vicky Winden said something too. She said, because she's a comedian as well, she said, that's why I'm not phony. I don't believe in being phony, because one day I'm gonna forget, which lie I told or who I am today. If and then I'm out here. So it's good to just be who you are at all times. That way you don't got to remember who you are.
That's right.
I mean, that you were somebody else 2 days ago.
Right. Very true.
And it really works behind the scenes, like your work ethic, your energy, and people remember that. And what happens you don't know is that even if you're doing something on a local level, like the ID channel, I've done a lot of that stuff, for my man, for my woman, all that stuff. Yeah. Some of the people that work on those shows work on major productions.
Right.
And some people get in by the recommendation of somebody that you had no idea was on set watching you.
That word of mouth.
You know what I'm saying? So it's...
I'm gonna add that into there real quick. So I've worked on 2 productions as well for Sirens Media.
Yep.
So with them, those of you who watch reality TV will tell you this. When Real Housewives of Potomac came in, a lot of Sirens Media is a production company for Real Housewives of Potomac as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So a lot of the team that's on there, that's like the lead producers and executive producers of the network, of the production company, I should say, started off as PAs.
Okay.
Started off at lower level, right? Set designers, etc. And now they're lead producers working with these talented artists and these reality stars. So you never know where it takes you, but that's a good point you made, because that was a smaller production company in my mind. Like Sirens Media is local, so it's smaller. They only really did crime series.
Boutique is the technical term.
Sirens, y'all were a boutique.
You're a boutique.
Now Real Housewives brought you up to a different level, but what's the word now? They going to Real Housewives. What's that? Boutique to?
Well, they might still be boutique, because that's more in reference to the size of their staff,
right? Well, they
more than the size of their
they done
client.
Tripled up now.
Right.
They done tripled up. They got people from
LA
LA coming out, from the Bravo headquarters coming out. So they
I don't know the hierarchy. I just know that
they started as a boutique.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, so we running low on time, so we gonna do
running low on time.
We show off.
We gonna do a few quick hits of questions. What is some word of advice for anybody who wants to get in this industry or who is just starting out?
Study your craft.
Absolutely.
And study your craft at all angles. Like, I watch everything. Well, of course, my passion was broadcasting, so I'm watching Wendy Williams. I'm watching all the talk shows. I'm watching BET. I'm watching
The Real.
Right, all that. I'm watching the Hallmark Network. I'm watching Lifetime. Lifetime got some amazing. I want to be in some Lifetime movies. Producers from holla at your boy.
They got some good emotional movies.
Them movies, they grip you. Like, that's the kind of acting I like, where you got to really go in.
Beaches, that was pretty good.
Beach is a good movie.
But you just saw that? Did they do a remake, or you talking about the official one?
No, I actually saw both.
Okay.
Like I watched the original because my mother was watching the new one, and I was like, "What's this?"
Oh, I didn't know it was a new one.
I didn't either, but the original one was good.
Yeah,
that's the new one has Nia Long in it, right?
Yeah.
Wow, I definitely gotta see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but study your craft, because that's got me far. Like how you were talking about the modeling thing. Let me talk about that, because I'm 5'9". Well, you were talking about going in and not physically being the stats.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of ties in, because that was my first introduction to that scenario was through modeling first. So I'm 5'9". So in professional modeling, meaning the top, like when you're modeling for Balenciaga and all them people, you have to, as a male, you gotta come in the door at 6.
6 foot.
Not 5'11". At 6, you gotta come in the door. Statistically, that's when you're making three to 10,000 just to walk one time in one outfit.
That's you do
that level.
Right.
So everybody on the lower level, in the regional level, tries to imitate the principles of that level. So they have these stats that you got to come in at. So long story short, I'm shorter than the stats, but I went every time anyway. And what would happen is I would get chosen because of my walk and my aesthetic. Aesthetic means like your build or your silhouette, what you look like. They can picture you a certain whatever. So just to tie back into your testimony, go anyway. That's my advice. Go when you see the stats, unless in television and film is a little different.
Yeah.
So if you in television and film, they say they want an African American male, 6 foot tall, yada yada yada. Most likely it's because they have a specific character. So you can go anyway. But
so I shouldn't go audition for that role.
I wouldn't recommend it. But hey, we don't know how destiny works. Maybe they need to see you for something else.
On the inside of it counts.
But you don't want to waste your time and their time.
I'm like, you don't know my family. They are African American.
Okay, I'm just saying.
So I'm biracial. But I would say go with your. You know what? I would say go with your gut. I take that back, because sometimes I'll see something that's different, and I'll apply anyway. Like, there was a movie that's filming here now. They needed a stand-in for a famous actor, and he was
Aldous Hard.
6. I think he was 6. And I posted on my Instagram the guy. His name is Kofi, the guy from not Greenleaf. What's the other one?
Ooh,
Queen of the South?
No, Queen Sugar.
Oh, I love him.
So Kofi, he's in the movie, right? And so they needed stand-ins, but his stats are not my stats, just to be the lead. But I sent in anyway and got a response. So you never know, and because I sent in, I may be on file. I may, exactly. So that you just want to. Sometimes you just want to get on file.
Got the role, by the way.
Turn to your neighbor, tell them sometimes you just want to get on file.
Got it.
Sometimes you just want to get on file.
We did an audition again. Yeah, there was an audition we went to, and there was a calling for a male character. Very powerful, very serious, controlling male character. In walks this middle-aged, a little bit older lady with a cane, and she said, "I'm auditioning for Big Reem." And we're looking like, we had the script in our hand, we're looking like Big Reem. That's a male, that's a guy character. She did a bomb ASS audition, and she actually got the part.
Wow!
So they switched their whole focus on what they wanted, and said, "You know what? You brought it. You got the personality. You got the role."
Sometimes they're waiting to see you.
Yep.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I tell people you don't know, and I'm sorry. So I tell people also, when you go into auditions and you're trying to go for anything, go for it with being open-minded. So I'm not just going in for this lead role right here, or the role that's on the paper. When they ask you what role do you want, I want the role that you think I fit.
Right.
Because if I just say I want this role, you'd be like, well, you're not a fit. That means it's probably a check I'm not going to get because I was focused on this.
Right.
But if I say I want, what you see me, where you see me fit,
Right.
and like, well, we got you for this, which it could possibly be even better.
Right.
So just be flexible. If it's your passion, then you probably don't really care which role it is sometimes, you know.
So we're down to like our final, I think, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left.
We do got to wrap up like fairly quickly. So real quick, you mentioned that there's some projects coming up that you can't talk about. Is there any projects coming
that you can talk about?
The PKs is a movie that's coming out of the DC area, and it will be on DC television as well because Monique Linnell is one of the directors there. So it'll be on. It's going to be split into. I can't talk too much about that either. It's going to be split into TV and then a film.
Okay.
So, what else is going on? So much. Definitely check out my website, www.calvinthespecialist.com. I'm available for all bookings for concerts, for televisions, music videos, films, theater projects. I'm also a fashion creative director. So, you need some behind the scenes work, things like that. Tomorrow you can catch me at Fashion Rocks Autism out in Green Spring, Maryland, Green Spring area. Who's walking for Christopher Schaefer.
Okay, Christopher Schaefer.
That's my man's and them. I do a lot of autism shows for some reason. There is the quick testimony. There's a song on my EP. Can I get an intro on iTunes called "Finally"? One of my friends in the fashion industry, her son is autistic, and she said my son doesn't talk. She said, but when I play your CD, or every time we get in the car, he's saying, play finally, finally, finally. That's all he will say. Aww. And I'm like, wow. So when he listens to that song, now she didn't go as far as to say he can sing along to the words, but he knows that he can say the title of it. And this was years ago, because that came out in 2012. But that's just a testament to following your dreams, people, and just knowing who you are, too. Because when you know who you are,
and whose you
come
are,
on, then people can say anything to you. Like people told me, you're not a real model unless you're gonna do underwear modeling. Now, had I not known who I was, but you'd be surprised. We watch reality shows. We see people get sucked in all the time, and they on videos that pop up doing anything because somebody probably told them, unless you rock with me on the low, you can't get this check right here, and they think that's true. That's not true.
Do your research.
Well, that check you ain't gonna get unless you do that.
What's our hashtag?
What's the hashtag?
What's our hashtag?
We ain't gonna do that tonight.
Hashtag no draws.
Last thing, drop your social
hashtag is know who you are.
There you go. Know yourself.
Drop your social media.
It's easier. It's easier to get my social media from my website. If you go to my website at the top right, all of my social media, you can just click on it. Book your boy trying to go to Egypt, London. Shout out to Kenneth John. He's another country. I can't remember where he is. Fashion icon, up and coming icon in New York. My homeboy.
Nice.
I believe he was watching earlier.
Nice.
Shout out to him. Everybody that's following their dreams. The McMullen family reunion, Tucker family, the Male Model Reach movement. I didn't get to talk about that, which is my mentorship program. I'm sorry, I know we out of time, but
no, it's all right.
Shout out to y'all.
But yeah, man, thank you for coming out, man, brother Calvin.
Thank you for having me.
AKA Chris Tucker, AKA Calvin Johnson,
AKA Book 'em and Cook 'em.
Book 'em and Cook 'em.
Book 'em and Cook 'em.
There's a hashtag for you. Book 'em and Cook 'em.
Hallelujah.
This has
you want to be the
Radio on Fire. Thank y'all so much.
Cheers.
We out here.
Cheers. Shout out to the Preacher Kids too.
Yes, PK's in the house.